You can look around now. Yeah. Are you going to show me? Yeah, that's the same with these. Basically, you have the engine with a prime coming off the turbines. Yeah. Go down the side, then turns 90 degrees, which runs a constant speed unit, which then in turn runs an alternator.
Okay.
Because each engine has its own alternator that produces AC, 200 volts AC. Only touch it if it's yellow.
Okay.
I'll go first and I'll guide you in.
Wow, it's compact, isn't it?
Closer to 3 or 5. Unfortunately, this is not original, but it's still got the aircon unit. It gets very hot in here during the summer. It's navigator plotter.
Okay.
Gets you from where you take off to roughly where you want to be. And he uses traditional plotting technique. He then picks up ground topography. It works out exactly where you are. He knows where you want to be, and then he sets the final course. Contemporary.
Yeah.
Something that looks like came with the aircraft.
Yeah, it's going to be like 50, 60 years old, isn't it?
Oh yeah,
it's
contemporary aircraft.
We can't do much as we're right next to an event. As soon as this event happens, it'll be another job that takes a few weeks. It'll be completed.
Yeah.
I feel you can.
Okay, so that's all within the rapid start. Previous point. Any questions for anybody?
At the end, it's the usual. It's the usual. Yeah, the usual.
We
at the
need
end.
the bomb doors closed. The end of ready shift.
That's fine because they're closed anyway.
Yeah, but at the end, after the rapid air start's been done,
Oh, after
opening
rapid
them up
start.
at the end, shutting the engines down, and then.
I'll have to discuss that with Mike. Right, we'll effectively say yes that we will be opening the bomb bay doors.
Okay.
That means we'll have to repower the aircraft before we can do it on the. Yeah, we can do it.
Do it on the AeroSteve.i.
My name's Tim Dealey and I'm the safety officer and organiser of this do. Our goal today is to carry out a standard start on the aircraft of all four engines individually, taxi the aircraft forward into a position opposite the T at the top of the pan. Once we get there, shut the aircraft down, prepare it to carry out a rapid start, wait until we're told to go into rapid start process. Once we get that indication, we'll rapid start the engine, going for a 4-engine rapid mass start.
Good morning everyone, my name's Mike Pollitt. I'm chairman of the 655 Maintenance and Preservation Society and also captain of XM655 here. Even though I was a 9 squadron man and she's a 50 squadron aircraft, I don't hold that against her. Today we're going to entertain mainly our membership guys and girls. We're going to start off with the external Pollitt supplying the air, and it'll be 4 normal starts, probably in the sequence of 1, 2, 3, 4, which is against the aircrew tradition of 4, 3, 2, 1. But I've got a Concorde pilot with me in the right-hand seat, and so he can see what's going on and have a go himself. It's easier if I start the first one and he does the 2, 3, and 4. And this afternoon we'll crew in about 1:45. We're this time going to try a mass rapid. That's all 4 engines starting together on her internal air supply that the guys have been putting together for the last 18 months. It is proving to be a little bit scoshy, shall we say, lots of leaks and things, but it hasn't been used for 40 or 50 years. And this is likely to be the first mass rapid, certainly in public, that we have achieved on the Vulcan force, that is, for possibly over 50 years. Using the mass rapid button, it does bring on the PFCs, which are the powered flying controls. Obviously we've got 8 of those, 4 aside on the trailing edge of the delta wing. It also brings on the alternators, so there's a lot going on. You press the button, 2 seconds later the 4 lights come on to show that there's ignition in the rapid starts combustor system. After about 5 seconds she lights up, and we're waiting for the first engine to reach its peak JPT. This is somewhere between 350 and 400, we hope. Anything approaching 570 and we'll be closing the throttle and thinking about shutting the HP cock. And so when one does have a peak of the jet pipe temperature, we wait 2 seconds and bring all 4 throttles from their position at 50% back to idle. So yep, a lot going on, a lot can happen. When we all calm down from that, I'll check that the PFCs are all working and start the auto stabs. But that's it in a nutshell.
So my responsibility today is AFC or crew chief. So I'm on the intercom downstairs monitoring all the ground equipment, liaising with Mike to the internal and external checks, and then the monitoring of the engines when they're starting, any problems, anything like that.
My name's John Tyne and I'm a former Concorde pilot, so I have experience flying delta wing aeroplanes with Olympus engines, and today I'm the co-pilot on XM655 here at Wellesbourne.
Hello, I'm Andy Marson. I'm the commentator here at MAP 655 with the Vulcan B Mark II. I joined the Air Force in 1970 as a navigator, trained as a Vulcan plotter, and served at both RAF Wellington and Scampton, during which time I actually flew an XM655 on several occasions. I think the first time in about 1971 actually. I retired from the Air Force in 2006 after 36 years, and then joined the XH558 team, flying that as a civilian until that of course was grounded in 2016.
Once in the bomb bay for nuclear weapons and armaments, I did have a gentleman afterwards come up to me who used to be a Seppercat Jaguar pilot, and he did train with these types of weapons on bombing ranges because his aircraft was nuclear capable. And he did mention once a funny story, and he's happy for me to share it with you all today, so I hope you find it slightly humorous. But he was following a certain major M road up to Scotland and wanted to make sure his targeting equipment was all functional, and apparently found a really nice camper van to go for every single step except the last one, to drop that lovely object on board them. So technically somewhere out there today there is a family who unwittingly one day were targeted from above.
but then I was flying to Bedford on tile, and we used to fly down to 50
As you can see, it took about 30 minutes.
yeah, it's supposed to be TUI.
It'd be far too long.
We said, oh, it's a spike. No, it's not a spike. Well, it's a spike. I flew with you have to squeeze the ring inside. Oh no!
that. Bastard's a bastard. Hold it.
Okay, so at the moment the aircraft has been left in a state whereby you can start it rapidly. If you were watching the start earlier, you know, we started engines one at a time and slowly. So when we got to the end of that, when all 4 engines were running, it's been shut down and left in the state it would have been for a quick readiness alert. So no one's going on board now. When we go out there next time, then the simple explanation is that the pilot will press one button. Now, you'll probably notice that the flying controls are all offset. That's because not only will the engines all start up together, which is going to give the pilot a little bit of workload, because all the 4 instruments are all going to be building. All the alternators will all come online by themselves, hopefully. And all the flying controls will also start up by themselves. In other words, it'll be ready to go. In the day, apparently, the aircraft would have been in this state at the end of a runway, and then after 2 minutes, it would have been somewhere up there. We can't do that, but hopefully, once it all kicks off, we'll be able to move forward, and you can get a feel for how quick it would have been. But the process is very quick. The reason I've been on board today is that we've only got one person who can sit in the AEO seat. So I'm under training, I've got L plates on, for the standby AEO.
So the way in which it's going to work is that normally, as we showed earlier, we use a air start jet turbine. We had one just positioned in front of the starboard wing there earlier to blow pressured air into the piping system, so that when a pilot selects an engine to start, it allows the pressure to go into a combustor. You add fuel to the combustor with obviously its own spark, and that ignites and then spins around the entire engine and brings it up to idle RPM.
And Mike opened the throttles to.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
And you can feel the thrust. You can really feel the aeroplane
as if it's trying
wants to go.
Yeah,
we're all watching the engine instruments. There's several engine instruments to monitor simultaneously, because the first sign of a problem, of course, would be something getting too hot. So you've got to be ready to react quite quickly to that.
Well done, guys. Thank you. Well, no. We're going to do it again.
Yeah, I'd leave it there and just pull the A-frame back. So hold your end there, Rick. No, I'm happy at that. That's you on there. Got a little bit back, and I want that move this way as well. So you got no, not that far. Which one was up? Yeah, that one's up.
Hang on, Matt. Stand there and I'll line it.
Is that middle and left? Right, safety bit before we go any further. Yeah, we got the bolt that's in there, that's fine, that's loose. Tim got his hand on. Okay. Right, basically, if you're not involved with the lift directly, completely clear, in a safe place. Exits, that way, on that side, that way, on that side, in case of equipment failure. Okay, I will be in charge of the lift. My voice and my voice only. Anybody has any issue, we shout stop completely, and we reset and carry on. Once the compressor casing is free, we will go up, clear the engine, we will go that way, down onto the pallet that way, rotating through 90 degrees at the same time. So it will sit on this edge as it comes through, it will sit on this edge as it comes down. So we will rotate that way. Any questions from anybody?
Check with Matt first. Matt, you okay if we just pull it back just a little bit?
Yeah, one of our volunteers that made a copy of the original piece of kit.
How much distance you got on that side?
Inch and a half, yeah.
Inch and a half?
Yeah.
That couple of inches out.
Where are the five now? The blades are pretty good. Keep going.
Okay, so what we'll now do is we will move towards you.
Does someone want to get the chain so it doesn't... We're above that.
Okay, so we want to start coming down on the chain, which is the left-hand chain, Stephen.
They're overly loose, no.
Apart from that, we look very good.
Bit of cleaning up.
Well, it's only the first day.
It's only the first.
Your real work.
Yeah.
There doesn't seem to be anything on all the static blades.
No,
so.
no. I can't walk through this.
The one like behind it, so it's hit that one, it's fine. No, nothing on
No,
those.
it's hit and broke up.
It's hit and broken up. All of these will clean. All of these will just clean up.
Yeah.
A bit of blue roll and a bit of polish, and just clean out. Yeah.
There's one bad one that's got a slight nit taken out of it.
That one there as well. But they'll file out.
That's interesting.
And then the rest is just superficial. Yeah, a lot of this is just
rounded
just
edge.
come away. So yeah, so
And that's
only a couple
been in
of bad
there
ones.
for some time. Someone's
Rest
took
of
that
them
off.
are okay.
That's a reused blade.
Yeah, hasn't gone any further back from this compartment, so we don't have to dismantle any of this.
One that's been off it. It's been off the machine.
From this excursion, yeah. We spotted it when we did the inspections after it went. So yeah.
This is the first winter we've had a chance to get to it, basically.
That's a reuse blade.
I'll tell you what, when you rotate. But the inlet ones have got a chunk out of them as well. So we're going to have to take that off.
On the traffic side,
That's the bounce back here.
Yeah. That's got that, and that's got that one on there.
Those are aren't those hollow?
These, yes, they are. These are hollow on these. Yeah. Normally makes a good right.
Good clean.
Good clean, and then
a fine file.
And a fine file, and away we go. Yeah. First thing is blue roll and wash, a little bit of jet A1, and go over all the blades and see what we've actually got.
one that's got a big neck in it.
Hang on, this isn't airframe. You can't start a drawing.
Idea which one's to
Hang on,
clean.
hang on. We're not just cutting that bit out and re-riveting a replacement bit on, you know.
Can we rivet a bit out of the top?
Yeah, those are the channels we talk about. These are the ones that generally have cracks or are subject to cracking. So you would undo the bolts and then you just slide them round, and all of these will slide up as well. Yeah. With a little, so you take the bolts out. You've got the holes. Okay. So there's a plate from this side that we've made. You screw it in with a slide hammer, and then they'll come free. So what we've done following the excursion last year, we've taken the top half of the LP compressor casing off to physically inspect the blades on these engines, or on this engine. So what we're now going to do is we'll clean the blades up, and then we'll start filing away the damage, and then we'll put it back in service.
But that one's
no reason why she can't. The damage has only gone this far, not back to the high pressure point. So yeah, no more. Just a few nicks on the blades where stones have come in. Just a few nicks, nothing more than that. They've just hit the first blades and then just disintegrated. Or powdered through the back of the engine. So no other damage caused. Cleaning up the blades, basically. Yeah, we'll clean up the blades. We'll get a file. We'll clean up the blades, make the edges nice again, put it back together, and then she'll be ready to go again.
The engines in the aircraft now are the original 4 from when she was delivered. Number 1 has been changed out for this one, and then changed out back again to put the original back in after it had been repaired.
And if you hang around long enough, the only time my car really
That's where she initially impacted in there. Right. That was the big impact. Just by the state, and then it's just dissipated through the engine or come back out the front.
It looks better than I thought it would look though.
It's a lot better than I thought it was going to be, yeah. All of this is all okay.
You can see a lot better of what's actually damaged on the front.
Not even really scratches it really.
We'll get some paint, we'll repaint
Mine's doing 32, 35 per gallon, I think.
No.
They engagement go into aircraft design or
How's your side going, Nicholas?
yeah, pretty good. I'm tempted to retrain for this and go to aircraft maintenance.
Your side seems yeah.
Coming out. Certainly not on the date we did it, which was the 21st of December. Coming back from Nebraska. So we got an engine out the following day, 2 engines rather. They did come there after the 50 orders. They had about yeah.
That's clean, mate. Sounds like a harmonica, doesn't it?
And this is the result. And we'll spend a few Saturdays now filing the first row and that.
Wait, does that make sense? So then I'll go on to conventional bombs. So currently in the middle position there, the middle position, more touch because it carries 7 bombs. Now the ones up above there are all fixed. They're not made. They're made of wooden fiberglass. You may also notice some of the fins are bent, one's missing. Don't worry, we're going to fix that at some point. It's just up to when we've got time to do it.
Wow, once you read it, I got halfway up there and I thought, oh, it's a bit claustrophobic.
That's why I wouldn't go to any
It's not nice up there. Not nice at all.
Not by this time. World War I,
I remember a story about one of the Range Rovers that comes to the royal family, and on assembly they'd scored AVFC on the back of the seat.
Yeah, we haven't got to that.
It's fine. Right.
We're not replacing, we're just filing out. They'll be filed out.
Needle file.
And
very gently start.
Yes.
Very gently start.
Well, there's a few next.
Start with a small one first to get the technique. Start with something like that, get the technique right, and then carry on to the bigger ones.
Yeah, the bigger one.
Right.
these blades made of? Are they on the aluminium or?
They are a hardened type of aluminium, I believe. I'd have to check the actual spec with a lacquer on top of them. Yep, we'll repaint that. That'll be fine. I will be painting this engine. There's bare metal here. It's like a lacquer. There's a lacquer that sits on top of the blade. So instead of painting, you would dunk the blade in, and that's how they would be painted. As well as filing out the damage, we'd have to slim out the blade. Because what would happen, it would be unbalanced because you'd have a greater proportion of material on top of where the damage is. So when the centrifugal force pulls it in, it would put stress on that particular section. So we're very fortunate we don't have to do that. But if the damage was further down in the engine, on the blade, then we would have to do that. But as it's all on the top third, we can get away without actually taking a line off the blade. And at the moment we don't think we're going to have to rebalance anything. We'll see how much material has to come off to make the blades nice again.
Thanks.
Yeah, so this is that's all one big casting.
What's your name?
Nicholas.
Nicholas.
Come off. You've got a valve point on it. Both my parents went to. My parents met in Swansea Uni. Do you want to do a before and after? Just before I start.
We tea down there?
Looked like he was going to cut that bit off.
I'll tell you. Well, we'll get some fine abrasive paper after we've done the files. I'll get some really fine files in the week, and we'll run over them with the and then we'll get a dye penetration pen and just run them all over. Make sure you've got no hairline cracks in anything. It's taken down there. It's taken that down. It's nice and smooth and started on that one as well. We'll get a finer set of files and finish that off to make it nice and smooth, and then we'll repaint that later on. Won't be able to tell the difference. Yeah, so that's the one I've done already. That's filed out. That one's a bigger chunk, and then that's come off really nice on the top. So I'm starting with the smaller ones. I think I may have to have a rethink when I get to some of the bigger ones.
How are we going to do that balance on?
With the amount, so what we're not actually going to do, we're not taking any more material off. All we're going to do is we're just going to dress the damage. We're not actually going to take away any more material, so the engine shouldn't run out of balance at all. There's not enough material to really worry about it running out of balance.
Fair enough, yeah.
It does look a bit better on the front.
Cup of tea in a minute, I think.
So if you get
2 or 3 people on each side.
Right, so
Spread out.
2 people go that side, and then 1 person go over that side.
Yeah, we need someone. Get on and bring. If you bring the entire frame this way.
So 2 people on that.
Yeah.
And then 1 person go.
Yeah.
Watch your back.
Yeah.
You guys watch your back.
Ready? 9 on that side.
I'd say that's pretty. I think I stopped you right in time, to be fair. And now if we go all the way up against the container.
Go.
Right. So once you get that, go up and get the chain off. Well, if you take the chains first.
It's a decent nick, isn't it?
Yeah, so just trying to flatten out the damage, and then we'll leave the nick as it is. But this is one that we want to check for a hairline crack. Doesn't feel like anything, but we just want to check that there isn't anything in there. But flatten out the damage. Like that, and then we'll repaint that, and that'll be fine. Slight nick on that one there as well, right? Yep, so we'll just repaint that one now. On to the next one. Okay, slightly down.
Good again by the end of the
Seam, so the side it is just going to start making insults at my cleaning instead of.
Stop this
roundabout in the middle of.
Could you just put a big roundabout back just a little bit?
Just a roundabout in the middle of.
Could you just put a big roundabout back just a little bit?
Right. We're not replacing, we're just filing out. New file. They'll be filed out.
Needle file.
And very gently start.
Yeah.
Very gently start.
Start with a small one first. Start something like that. Get the
Oh, is it the aircraft that's in the way?
Okay.
Oh. Hang on, back. No, don't go over. Oh, we're rotating.
Hang on. Cup of tea was
Hi. Let's go past that one. Cup of tea as well, guys.
How's that? That'll be fine because I'm not worried about the back end being out. How much is on? How much
you need to go and do geometry again.
Can we go with it, please? Yeah. We just go slightly that way, so that's covered. Yeah, that'll be fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
You've got a challenge. This gentleman says, can you drive his car away? Well, I think I was going to say it's an extra 50p if you've got me in the stuff.
No. Is that because of the expanding metal?
Expandamental essentially the force and the
Yeah, they can only keep us away from playing with engines for a few
Do they have
months.
their own? Never mind, I was about to ask a stupid question. So ignored central force.
Well, I'm just so
Do
strong.
they have their own lubricant inside a rack? Inside a channel? They shouldn't do when you get to around about here.
No.
No. Okay. Because I know that some designs that are interesting have intercooling in the blades themselves.
Yeah.
When they go back to the combustion engine. So I was just wondering if this is advanced enough to
Yeah, I totally agree. Totally agree.
You've got no idea what I'm talking about.
I had a rough guess.
Okay. You sometimes have honorary volunteers and then plus as well air crew. The partners or special guests people go to, remember you can take plus one member. So Alan and Rick have been kind of a while.
What have you guys got?
Turkey. I've gone for steak.
Have you gone for 3 course?
No,
for
steak.
I've
gone for silly question.
Starter, I've gone for pate.
I'm getting really tight on the time again.
So this here's the alternator and that connects to the CSDU there. The starter here, but we've taken a lot of the piping off it that connects up to here, and there's a large piece that goes here that actually has the bleed air on it, and then that goes here, and there's the rapid start combustor usually sits about there, so when the actual air comes through the valve from the rapid start bottles, it'll go into the combustor, get mixed with fuel, ignited, and then put through the starter. But obviously that's on the side of all of the actual starting air, and then that goes into there. This,
I'm going to go
to go the other way, you can bleed air off the actual engine and start other engines like cross. And that actually connects up, so it's all in one system. You don't need a separate system to actually start, like cross start the engines, if you get what I mean.
I think with some of these back ones, I'll just get a piece of green cloth out of the paint store and just go over them very lightly. Because I don't want to really file them, because that's not going to...
Have you got a 1200 bit
I don't want to use the 1200 bit. I want to use the green stuff that we use for the cleaning electrical connections and things. I just want to run some of that over it. Scotch-Brite, yeah, because I think if we use 1200 grit sandpaper, it's just going to take too much off.
Oh right, yeah.
I don't really want to take any off than I need to, but yeah, a bit of Scotch-Brite on blades like those, and that would get it sorted.
Yeah.
Hungry cockpit toast or sandwiches?
What are you doing today?
So compressor casing's gone back on, LP compressor's gone back on, so all we're now doing is rebuilding the external engine ancillary, so all the air delivery pipes, all the oil pipes, everything like that, ready for the engine to go back into storage in as much of a complete state as we can make it. So when it needs dragging out again, she's a complete engine, ready to go.
That's the wrong way answer. Shall I? I shouldn't laugh. You can't do the That's the police. Right, about this engine. So this is from the.
This is a Hooch-in ground power unit, and it provides electricity to the aircraft, both 28 volt DC and 200 volt AC. We had to take the top off it because the bearings in the water pump had decided to not be bearings anymore, and the fan had a lot of play in it, and it had some damage onto the bottom of that shroud on the radiator, and it was just making this really bendy. But we took that off and got that straightened out a bit, and now the water pump's been, I think Stephen made a new bearing and edited the shaft a bit, and that's all been reassembled, and we've just finished putting that back on, and now the radiator can go back on and we can get some new hoses, and then the top can go back on. The engine's the same as Route Master Bus. I think it's a Leyland 0600 or something like that. I can't exactly remember perfectly, but when we were looking to get a new water pump for it, it's different from the actual engine that's on the bus. But we managed to find one on eBay that was the same, and I think it's kind of mashed together to make one good one.
So what capacity is this engine?
It's a 9.8 litre diesel, and it's an inline 6. 655 doesn't have a... On the AEO panel, you can see where that would be displayed.
Okay, right. Don't let it roll towards me.
What?
Well, this is the rear radome, and we've managed to source another rear red steer radome. Radar to go in the radome rather, and to get it in, we're going to get it off, and then get this inner bracket out. Fortunately, all of these screws, well, they're welded in pretty much for the years of being on the aircraft. So
or going at another angle.
Yeah.
Right. To cause the whole thing to break up.
So there's a scanner up there. There's a massive unit that's supposed to be behind it, and it's probably about that big, and that actually sits in the aircraft, and then it's just connected to that scanner there.
Cool. I put the separation piece on, and what I've forgotten is when I've gone to look at the replacement engine, is this actually P-clips in with these to the bolts that I've already gone through and tightened up. So now I need a slight dismantle of 3 bolts to go and re-put that back in. Nothing major, but yeah, because there's no guide for this. Sort of have to, yeah, it happens every so often of what part goes on next, and occasionally you have to take a part off to fit the next bit. So 5-minute job to refit this, and then we'll be on our way again.
That's the spare engine.
So this is the second of the 2 spares that we've got that was taken out of Woodford's, and this is complete. This is a fully complete engine. We've not touched it, but it's very useful for reference for routing of pipes where bits P-clip on, etc. So the pipe that I'm looking at is behind here. So this is the one that we're installing on the engine out there, and what it does is it shows me where the P-clips actually attach to the bolts that I've already put in. So I'll go and mirror that out there, and then we make sure that we put them in the correct places when they go back.
Onto those four mounting plates. What we need is a perspex window underneath. So you can look up here. Can you get it in without taking the back off? There we go.
I'm still finishing the hard piping for the brakes and the hydraulic jacks. I've done most of the connections now, and now I'm just blowing the pipes out before I finally connect them up.
So is this the bomb carrier?
Yes. This is a SAB-T, standardised Airfield bomb transporter. As it's proper, yeah, but bomb trolley, whatever. This would carry 14 £1,000 bombs in two carriers, 2 racks. So up in the bomb bay we have a carrier which has 7 bombs, and they're loaded up as a cassette. So this carries 2 cassettes out, and there'll be a second SAB-T to carry the 3rd one. But we're restoring this into functioning condition. So each corner has its own hydraulic jack, each corner has its own brake. So consequently there's a lot of piping that goes around here.
So it'll carry 14 £1,000 bombs.
Yes.
That's 7 tons basically.
Yes, plus the weight of the carriers,
Yeah.
plus the weight of the frames that hold the carriers.
Of course.
And then that gets taken in underneath the aircraft. Each end is steerable. So apart from each end getting its own jack and its own brake, it also has an inching gear. So you can engage this lever and then use this handle, and you can actually wind each wheel. This means that with 4 people, you can actually drive this traffic under the aircraft and get precise positioning. About 1971, we found a plate on it, a little plate down here. But unfortunately, they've scratched the date in, and it's not very clear. It's about 1971 this was created, but the design is earlier than that. This one just happens to be made at that time.
So basically, it's a case of take these out.
Yeah.
Yeah, if Roger's got a small chisel, you may be able to just chisel the top off them, right? Then you'll be able to lever the case off there. You'll be able to get to the nut underneath, and we need to crack the nut in some way, shape or form. The thing to do is to take these off first.
Yeah.
Right, not that one. Right, obviously
smaller
not
ones there.
those 2. So it's all the smaller ones.
Yeah.
There's one over there that's actually in one piece. There's no screw in it. probably because the thread's knackered in there. We'll probably replace that anyhow. So, yeah. So when you've got all those off, then we'll look at actually splitting these. See how we get on. You might be able to with a chisel just hack that, but you need to take these rivets out anyhow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because when that ring comes out, we're going to have to pull the rivets out and re-drill the holes. Ring and this would have been put on in the bay after I removed the can. There should be a can on the back of here. Goes down into that. So these would have been bolted up and then put on the aircraft, and they've been overpainted and corrosion's got in, and you know.
Years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's one of those jobs, but we don't want to cut the bolts because the bolts are difficult to get. Although,
yep. On to the next one. Retighten that one up.
Just remaking hoses at the minute. I'm trying to get these ones that are no good anymore off. But that one's been made. I've got one more to make that goes in between there, and then the entire radiator can go back on. It's just decided to weld itself together.
So disconnecting these so I can blow them through, and then I can blow them up properly. Yeah, finally. So each of these has got its own jack, which is controlled by a valve, so you can control each one individually. And then this is the master valve, so when you want to let them down, you just crack that off and they all go down together. That's the idea anyway. Fortunately, a lot of the fittings have been here, so and we've got pipe plans. And get some paint on them to try and protect them a bit.
What's the torque setting? Mighty tight.
Well, the point is they're flared copper pipes, so they will actually, you can feel a crush, and then you can feel when they're done, but they will be, they're fine like that.
What this will do, we'll find out in a minute. Yep.
Still got a bit there to go.
Yeah, a bit more.
Need a punch now. Reasonable size punch. About that sort of size. Anyway. We don't want to damage the actual bolt if we can get it out.
That's one down. How many to go?
Many.
It's one dragging bar on that.
I'd say more or less probably about 20. So slow process.
Well, it's done in half an hour.
Probably. So basically, got to just get out, try and get onto the top of the thing. It's a bit tricky on this one. Give it a whack. Oh, come on. Give it a whack. That's it. And again. That's it. Try again on that one. A bit more. And again. Now we try and give it a whack underneath to see if we can. That's it. Okay. So put that over there. Go away from that heavy one for the moment. Put that one over there and then just tap it because it's not the right fit and that's not a sock. That's not a sort of a nut as such. It's built for being grabbed, so you probably won't get a size or fit one. Let's go find the size now. We've got it there. The weird size, yeah. You can't come on the roll, he's up. Thank you. The ½ inch would probably do it actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's depending on how tight it is. It's a bit of slop. But at least that's a good fit anyway. They're going to be replaced anyway, so bring it out this little way, and then you can. Oh, it has got a little. It's still got a little collar around it. That's what it's got, that metal around it. Yeah, just give that a belt. That's protecting the thread then. See, so you don't whack the thread. So fine. Might have to get a fairly good whack. Bit more force than that, I think. There you go. Take that off now. Put it all the way. More.
The rocket angle.
Yeah, but I don't want to take the bolt back out again to get to it.
And then they'll go back in the bag. That's all you do. You don't touch anybody else's tools unless you want to die into them. Yeah.
Yep, yep.
That's on?
Yep, that's on. And it's even roughly in the right place for the electrical connection.
Usually helps.
It's only an electrical connection. So this is a hot air valve. So for the engine anti-icing at the front. So what you have is out of the combustion chamber back here, you have various outlets. There's
8 of them if I remember correctly. And what it does is the hot air is taken from the combustion chamber, comes forward. This valve then opens and closes. There's another pipe that comes to here, and what that does is that feeds hot air circulating around the front of the engine where the cold air is coming in to prevent engine anti-icing at high level. And this is the control valve and the regulation valve. It regulates the pressure down from that comes straight off the combustion chamber. Don't snap. You'll need a spanner for that one.
Awkward. Give me the wrong tool. That'll do. And you've got the spanner?
2V8.
That'll do. I recognise that. Okay. That'll do. Right. Work done.
Try not to damage the thread, but otherwise I've gone beyond that.
Yeah.
Let's get this bit of metal out of the way. It's the bit of the locking ring that's if we can get it in there. Can't be much holding that one now.
Yeah, hold your end. Just stick the bolt down, don't put the box on yet. Right, no, we need to go into that pipe. Huh? No, yeah, the pipe's not lined up. I still need to. I still need to put a pipe on it anyway. I need to put a pipe on it anyway. It's fine. Alright. Do you want me to have a look? So you need to put a pipe on it. Don't push it in. Wait, it's just the pipe that it's stuck on, I think. Right, and now, if I can... But now we're stuck on that.
Oh, is it lined up now? There you go. Once you put one in, it'll line it all up.
Where? Oh, have you got them? Can you just stick them in the holes?
No, the actual. Huh? The actual bolts. You're in, Charlie.
No, not yet.
We've swapped it out with a no-dig engine, which took a couple of months. And the test we've done this morning needs the engine to start up.
Yeah.
To take it, all we did was turn the engine over just to give us something out of it.
If it was actually moving.
So we're going to take it out on here and actually run the engine.
Okay, that's cool.
And then hopefully then we'll get up to 200 volts.
Yeah.
And then when we got over that hurdle and we got 200 volts out of it, we'll load it up and see if it'll take the load, because that was the original fault.
Ah, right, okay.
The original number 2 alternator wouldn't take the load.
Right.
So that might still be a problem. There's only one way to find out.
Yeah.
Roughly down by the tower. Dad, we can close these up.
Yes, that's what I
you can do this one.
That one first, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it should. You don't need those pipes on them, right? Alan, we don't need the pipes on.
No.
Okay.
So we can leave all that behind.
Yeah, okay. You get on it, got a hand on it.
I'll tell Lee another job that comes up today. What's that? All the paint.
Roger's asking us to move it. Put it over on that on the corner, roughly where you're going to be.
Yeah, okay. Just done doing it on my own, I was struggling.
Yeah, I saw you.
You're going to go backwards, yeah?
We'll go backwards first.
We'll do it manually. Good idea.
I've seen Pat testing them. Yeah, big Pat is a slam or a Pat.
You moved the tug. You told me to move the tug.
And? Ready? Yeah, go.
Move the tug. Yeah, hold it, squeeze it down, push it in, you'll feel it's okay.
Oh, you mean the village? You don't know village. I know it. All of the Okay guys, after this morning's exercise we found that we seem to have an alternator that's generating after the change out of the alternator that was on the number 2 engine. So the intent is we are going to start up the number 2 engine, we're going to check that it generates, and then we're going to put loads on from other buses to the number 2 and see whether it drops off like it did before. Hopefully not. Right, so Roger is ASC. Have you got people for...
Not yet, I know.
Okay. Rick, he's smiling too much.
Rick on the air.
Oh no, Pollitt.
Pollitt, okay.
Right.
Yeah.
I need a hoochie man.
Steve,
Simon.
and I'll spread around and help.
Yeah, everybody else, if you're not required underneath the aircraft, the ASC doesn't require you, then it's out of the way. Upstairs, it's Alan, you upstairs or, yeah, upstairs, myself, Stephen.
Yeah.
Have we got an Eric upstairs?
No, Eric, yeah.
Eric's upstairs. You're not joining us, are you, Mike?
No.
Okay, right. So
You're going to watch from a safe distance.
It's electrical, it never upsets aircrew. Usual safety. If anything happens to the aircraft and the ASC indicates the escape area is out there to the car park, right, you remain there until such time as the aircraft is deemed safe or whatever has happened has been dealt with. Right? If you see something that you don't like, tell somebody. No, we're just doing number 2 at the moment. Other decisions may be made later. A short taxi is not out of the question. Okay, guys. So, anybody? Anything else? Right. Okay. Rog. Yeah. Down here's over to you and. Let's go.
No, not yet. No.
Yeah, it's a bit closer.
Yeah, that's a bit closer.
Morning, Matt.
Morning.
How are
You
you?
okay? Yeah, good yourself.
Very well, thank you.
We're a bit tail heavy. Huh? That is L-band jammer
Okay.
antenna. Basically, normally you'd have 3 cans in the back that ran the red shrimp. To replace the L-band, you replace one of the cans with a higher frequency jammer, and you fit this instead. These are red shrimp.
Sorry, what?
They're red shrimp. It's a broadband noise jammer.
Oh, okay.
L-band is very specific to radar and communications. To be 2 of these plates. During the blue steel era, they used to fit 2 of these plates, one under here, one under the other engine, so that they could, because when blue steel was installed, the missile shielded the countermeasures jammers from that side of the aircraft. So they fitted another one of those engines.
Makes sense.
So if people say to you, oh, why has it only got one on the left? It's because it's not a blue steel fitted aircraft, or it wasn't.
So we've had a number of issues with the number 2 load, taking load. So we've number 2, well, the alternator and then the load that it produces. So when we put load on the alternator up to a certain point, it then drops out, which it shouldn't do. So we've changed a couple of components. We've changed the A breaker on the circuit, the S breaker on the bus. So now we have to fire it up to see if it works. There's no other way of testing it. So we'll fire up number 2, might fire up number 1 as well, and just see if we fix the problem at all.
There were some comments on the last video about leaving in the plugs and that inside.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. There's no because we're only running the port side of the aircraft. There's no problem with leaving the starboard side blanked. We've taken out everything on this side that could possibly be affected. So yeah, no issues with that at all.
All good.
Cool. Right.
Thank you.
No problem. Safety boots. Right. You doing this, Tim? Right.
Okay. Number 2 alternator testing part 16. Right, so we're basically going to do what we've done previously. We're going to run up number 2. Once we're happy with number 2, we're going to try and put the alternator online and put a load on it. We know where the load's coming from to cause the problem. And we will act accordingly, i.e. shut the bloody engine down. We will remain on the hooching during the whole test.
Yeah.
So that if we do lose anything, we're not going to lose fuel pumps and stuff like that, right, left and centre. Okay, anybody got any questions?
The only thing I would ask is Eric was alluding to starting up the number 1 if the number 2 doesn't work, to try and isolate this load problem. So he might move on straight away, or he might shut down as he's not with us. I'm not sure what his intention is.
Yeah, well, say Eric's disappeared up the top. So,
yeah.
So basically, my thinking, and it's probably the same as yours, is we'll run the number 2 up, see whether we get the failure. If we get the failure, we'll then start number 1 up, and then do the test again as a side-by-side comparison.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. All the usuals. Matt is who's running things down here? You or
me.
Matt's running things down here, so Matt will detail you where you need to be. As usual, if you spot anything, say something about it. Don't just hold it in there and hope that it will go away. Say something about it, and we will then do whatever we need to do to sort it out. Other than that, I haven't got anything else. Matt?
No, just standard. We're well practiced at this now. We're getting very well practiced. So yeah, shout up. Yeah. If you see anything
Yeah, the
wrong,
amount of practice the tug driver's getting up.
He did a good job last time.
Morning, Rog.
Tired.
Morning,
Tired each week.
This comes off, I want you to go and fetch it because we're putting it back in.
What's the worst that could happen? Well,
Don't say that!
No, it's not your engine. Your engine.
My engine's fine.
It used to go nicely.
Yeah, it's the wiggly amp.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the problem.
It's his fault.
Yeah, we blame
Yeah, the AEO's fault. Yeah, the AEO's fault.
And he's got a lot. It can't be my fault. Alright, it's electric, well, it's got to be my fault.
How's Tim?
I'm fine, thank you, Mike.
Good.
Yeah, normally we've got to get a So we started number 2 engine, started fine. We tried to put a load on the alternator and it didn't take. What we then did was started the number 1 engine to give a equal comparison. After we started the number 1, we started all the PFCUs and they were equally loading across both of the engines, alternators, but we were still getting a failure light. So we now suspect it's an indication problem with the number 2. We've changed A breakers, S breakers, so we think we possibly caused the problem further down the line. So good that it's taking its load, but we need to work out why we've got a failure warning light as a faulty indication.
So what do you think next?
Need to go read the book to find where that feed comes from for the indicators, work out what's on the indicator circuit and start checking circuits from there. And we'll get it back on the pan and then we'll set about that. We've got a couple of other jobs we need to do this afternoon and then we'll see what we find from that. That would have cost a couple of £100
£100
of fuel probably, yeah, to do. Even having them running idle for 10-15 minutes will be like £100 fuel. Yeah.
Guide me onto that, put the pin in. Guide me onto the telly yard and put the pin in. Right. I'll get ready to pull it backwards and get the shocks out. I think I've got the height roughly right.
Oh yeah.
I think I've got the height roughly right.
It's too high up.
Still I lower it down. Take the pin out.
That's it, well, forward, right, nothing, literally nothing. Yeah, we're in.
Wind the legs, wind the wheels up. Any attempt there, make it look like one attempt. Yeah. I have done it in one, I've got a video in there in one, that's why it's on the telly in there. It happens occasionally. Matt's putting the hoochie because the cab on the column is so tall he can't get under the wing close, so I gave him the opportunity to put the hooching back on the pan, and then once he's clear, and then we've got some people to marshal me and I'll push back. All good?
Whenever you're ready.
Okay, so
I've got to flatten out the grooves a bit.
On the grass
that I made with Uchi.
Just watch that tent for me, and that's about it, really. I think.
Well, yeah. When we get that far back, yeah.
All right, I'm coming in. I'm coming in. It's moving now, Matt.
Pardon?
I'm moving now.
Okay.
Still going down? Still going down? Oh no, too
No,
late.
you started doing that recently, taking the lock off too soon.
Needs more practice. Do we do it next weekend, darling?
Still a store. People must have taken them home to their garages.
No, there'll be far too much hassle motorised.
Sole plate.
You never get the fine adjustment that you need sometimes.
Apart from
the position of the
pins on it. There you go. But that looks to me, and I'm sure I've tried one up against another one. That is the same distances and everything.
Oh, wow.
But it's not. And I've got two of those. Now, apart from that high pressure sort of air, or something maybe I don't know, air or ventilation or something.
Very, very odd.
They are very new. They are very, very new. They've still got this piece of.
This is returned to
tape. Oh, we see it's hardened, is it?
It's hardened, it's gone on rubber over the years.
These things have normally got a date on them, haven't they?
How old do you think that is? It's got
it's in the box. It's in the original box. It's
Has it got a date on that? On that label there?
On there?
On the brown on the top. Turn it over, right.
No label on this one.
No, turn it over on the top.
Oh, there.
Bit of packing dirt on
There's
it.
a packing date on that one. Can you see it?
Can't see a date on it. It might be covered in this brown tape down here.
That'll be a repacking date.
Yeah, but it's not. It's
81.
It's not
1981.
1981. Oh, there we go.
What is that? What is that?
That fastens onto an ejection seat, and then the.
That's kind of typical. What is it?
It's a. What's the actual abbreviation for this, guys?
PEC.
PEC, personal equipment connector, and it clips onto an ejection seat and provides the pilot with comms and breathing air. I'm not sure what that one's for.
Well, that's not on this aircraft.
Because it's not on this.
Yes,
Oh,
this
okay.
is not one for this aircraft.
Okay.
That looks.
And the idea is, of course, if the pilot ejects, then this connector will disconnect, because obviously he's going to leave the seat at some point before he gets to the ground. You hope. So, but it's not for Vulcan, is it?
Falls off. There's a clamp on the seat that engages with that, and also engages in the back part here, and that withdraws. That falls off because it's only clipped on at that point there.
How did you source that, Roger? Can you put that on camera? Couldn't possibly comment.
The internet stores, many are available.
Had nothing to do with RAF Stafford, did it? No.